ick. It's in every tank. Can that be true? Let's find out. So whenever you're new into the fish keeping hobby and you're starting to learn about parasites that are common in fish that you'll probably run across eventually if you stay in fish keeping long enough, namely ick is probably the most common. And ick is a parasitic organism. It requires a host to survive. It can slow its reproduction in colder waters, and it will speed its reproduction in warmer waters. So tropical tanks tend to be more affected than other tanks, as it can cause a rapid outbreak with the warmer temperatures. So the myth goes that ick is in every tank. Whenever I first started keeping fish and I got ick and I was confused, I didn't know what I did wrong, and I was reading that ick is in every tank. It doesn't matter what tank it is, that it's there, and that whenever the fish get stressed out, they will then get ick. So of course I saw ick on my fish and I found ways to treat. Initially I used Cordon Ick Attack. Initially the first times I treated for ick, and then eventually I switched over to the heat method, which I find to be my preferable method for treating ick for most fish. Obviously cold fish can't necessarily take 87 degrees for long periods of time, depending on the fish and everything, but oxygenation also plays a key role in treating for that. So now that I'm get back on track here, so ick, is it in every tank? No. It's a parasite and it requires a host to live. The only way you're going to get ick in an established tank, if you currently do not have ick, is by adding fish from another tank or from a store somewhere, just an unknown, unquarantined fish. That's going to cause possibly an outbreak of ick. Now that fish may only have one spot of ick and you may not see it. It may be in its gill covers, somewhere in its gills, underneath of a fin, on its belly somewhere, unnoticeable. And then what happens is that one little speck goes and breeds thousands and thousands of parasites. And then, and if you have like a tropical tank, it's going to happen very rapidly, and then they're all rapidly going to attach onto fish, and then that fish is going to be covered and extremely stressed, and then that is when you're going to have huge problems and you may lose fish. Ick is a very easily treatable symptom, a very easy to treat parasite. It will not live outside of water, so if you use nets and you have ick and you let your net dry out 100% completely dry, there will not be any chance of ick transferring to another tank. This is the same for if you're using an old tank that happened to have had fish that may have had ick. As long as everything is bone dry, then you will not have any problems with ick. The ick cell walls cannot hold themselves up without moisture. So without water, they will die. So just to recap on everything, ick is a parasite. It requires a host. It cannot live in a fishless tank for a long period of time, especially if you have your heat to a higher setting. So if you got a tank and you're not sure, you can always just let it run empty for a long period of time with the heater on to allow the life cycle of the parasites to die out. You can allow it to dry out completely, so that way the structures of their cells cannot hold themselves up and then they will die. And those are the ways to prevent it like that, and as well as quarantining fish whenever you get them. You always want to quarantine, and I honestly just treat for ick automatically because it's so common from a fish shop, and it's not necessarily a fish shop's fault. You know, they are importing and selling fish on a regular basis, and you know, they don't always have time for a 2 to 4 week quarantine for every fish, especially when some fish are fry, or some are special orders for customers, etc. There are reasons that they can't always quarantine all fish. So I know this is more of a ramble and a rant and anything, but I don't like seeing the myth be spread that ick is in every tank. It will only be spread if a contaminated fish is added to your established aquarium, or if the fish that you originally purchased has it as well. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed. Just want to thank everyone for watching another Fish Buddy video. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, like my videos if you like it, share it if you want to share it. You got someone that would get some value or entertainment out of my videos, visit me on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Buddy Mayfield Fish Buddy. And thanks again, Fish Buddies, for watching.